Coach, we are ready whenever you are.
Okay, just as far as the injury, we had a couple guys that were sick, not non-COVID related, but Yasir Durant and then Tyreek Hill, both were sick. So, and then Damon Wilson had hurt his knee, so he didn't practice either. Other than that, everybody was out there. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Dolphins. We know they're a good football team, and not only by record, but by the way they coach them and the way they play. And so our players were able to get a little tape on today and practice and get themselves on the first leg here of a preparation to play against them. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
Go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, I know you guys have done some unique things in the past when it comes to preparing for someone like Lamar Jackson. Will there be anything unique with the left-hander in Tua, and how difficult is it to prepare for someone with so few NFL starts to their name?
Well, he's got enough. I mean, he's a good football player, and so is Fitz. I mean, they've got two good quarterbacks, so you got to make sure that you got the right side and the left side of it covered. And but Tua's got a great future, and Brian knows that, so they're working him in, and he's producing for him. And it looks like it's a really good draft pick for him.
The next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. We asked you a lot about the Tyreek play, the replay thing. I wanted to ask you about the other sort of close call on the touchdown, the one that got called back on the holding penalty. Initially, there were two flags on that play, and the ref said there's no penalty for the backflip or whatever. Did you get clarification? Is that because the touchdown didn't count? And do you have clarification going forward? Is that going to be a penalty, and do you have a problem with him doing that?
Well, I'll talk to him about that, but I just want him in the end zone. That's what I'd like. It's nice that he can do backflips, but let's do him in the end zone. So, and yeah, I mean, it's not unless it's taunting, it's not a penalty. So.
Okay, and did they pull that flag up because they said it wasn't taunting, or because the touchdown didn't count?
That's what they told me. So yes.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach. Brian Flores was up with New England for a long time, so I don't know who exactly calls all the defensive plays and everything. But do you see some of those kind of New England fingerprints on the way the Dolphins play defense, and what sort of specific challenge do they provide defensively, since you faced the kind of New England style before?
Yeah, Brian's a great defensive mind. So I mean, he's sharp. He he did run the defense there in New England, and when we were in the championship game, he was one calling them. So he knows that thing backward and forward. And you could see it. You could see how those guys are playing. I mean, they're one of the top defenses in the league, and it's evident why. So I mean, they play hard, aggressive, and definitely maximizing everything he's got there. So I think the players believe him.
Go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, you can appreciate good tight end play. Obviously, you have Travis Kelce, but when you look over at the Dolphins, they've got a good one in there, Mike Gesicki. What are some of the impressions you have from when you pop on the tape and you see what he's been able to do this year?
Yeah, well, Mike was a heck of a player, high school and in college there. So he's been able to carry it over. People at one point thought he was just be a receiving tight end. He's thin and that whole deal, but he's filled out nice, and I think he's tremendous. I mean, he's really a great route runner, and he can high point it and very long, and so he can go up and get it, and that's a tough matchup. Yeah.
Go next to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
And I'll have a quick follow-up, Brad. Coach, first of all, just on Emmanuel Ogbah, what you see out of him, you guys had him here. He gave you guys a spark on the pass rush before he got hurt. What did you see in him? You remember the personnel conversation? I know Brett handles that, but what it was you guys saw in him, what he delivered, and what he is now? Yeah,
no, listen, we liked him here. I think he's a heck of a football player, and I love the person. I mean, he's a great kid. He ended up getting hurt when he was here, but up to that point, he was playing really good football. And right now, he's playing tremendous football. So, and he made a lot of money, which is great for him, and that's a real plus for him. So he well deserved, and he's giving him every dime of it right now.
and I know the conversations about that quarterbacks. The Dolphins have really been doing a lot with their defense, but the number on Patrick, since you had Patrick, the Chiefs with Patrick, is that of his 9 losses, 8 times the other team had to get to 31 points to beat you. So that's kind of the book. Like if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you have to hang a big point total out there. Do you notice other teams maybe coming out of their personality, maybe trying to do much because they feel like they've got to get to maybe a bigger point total than they're really capable of?
I don't know that. We've seen some creative things, but I can't tell you that one way or another. I'm sure somewhere they talk about that you got to score and do that, but I don't know exactly what they're saying to them. But they have done some creative things. Yeah.
Looks like we've got 3 left. We'll go right down the line, starting with Darren. Go ahead, Darren.
Coach, good afternoon to you. 2-part question. The first being, last year following you all's bye week, you all were kind of like in playoff mode. Obviously, with the teams that you've been playing post your bye week, the Raiders, Tampa Bay, of course, you got Miami coming up, and then New Orleans. Have you all kind of switched into that playoff mode, trying to make sure that you all go straight all the way through to hopefully Tampa Bay once again, and then Brad have a follow-up?
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, you get so focused on the team that you're playing, you don't really think of anything other than that. And you try to maximize it every week. I mean, that's kind of what we do. And we don't look ahead. We don't look behind. We're just trying to nail what we've got going that week. And then, specifically today, this day here. So we have situations that we have to get covered, and we want the guys to maximize that and not worry about all the other stuff that they can't control there.
Go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Andy, obviously some memories here going back to Miami. Obviously, you're not playing the 49ers with the Dolphins, but just kind of when you're going to Miami to kind of go back in your memory a little bit and remember all the good times there.
Listen, I probably won't go there too much. I mean, I was locked down in a hotel when I was there and trying to get ready for the game. And I was pretty, the game and all was great, but 2 different scenarios. We've got in-season game. There's not all the glitz and glamour that there is for a Super Bowl. So we're playing a good football team that we got to do the same thing we did before. You got to focus in on them and make sure that you cover all the bases. I mean, they're too good not to. So
We'll go last. Steve Waltz. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Andy, I know you're in game prep, but so I'm not sure if you saw it, but both Patrick and LDT have been named as Sports Illustrated Sports Persons of the Year, the activist athlete. Just wanted to get your thoughts on both those guys, according to Sports Illustrated, as 2 of the 5 guys who inspired her in 2020.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, Ted Cruz gave me a heads up on it. And what an honor, man. I mean, that's of all the people in all the sports, I mean, to have 2 guys, let alone 2. I mean, it's crazy. So, both so deserving. I'm proud of them for both of them for all they do. And and Patrick's young here, and we'll continue on. And Larry's young as a doctor, so he's going to keep rolling there. So it's and LeBron's been doing it a long time. I mean, all of them have their own story. I mean, it's tremendous. I just think it's it's a great thing, great honor. Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
All right, guys, we got Rashad Breeland coming up next, and we'll do McCole Hardman will be our other guest today. All right, Breezy, you ready for us?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Good. We're going to start first with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Bashad, was wondering what your scouting report tells you about Tua and what you've seen from him on video in the few games that he's been a starter so far this year.
He's a good quarterback. You know what I mean? They put him in good position to make plays. He can use his feet. You know what I mean? And he's a left-handed quarterback. You know what I mean? So it's opposite than other quarterbacks. We just got to hone in on his mechanics.
Next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Bashad, I know you're locked in on winning this year, but I know that since the Carolina Panthers thing a few years back, you've been desiring this big-time contract. How do you see the year going so far, and what do you hope to do as the season rolls along here as you maybe pursue that in the future?
Man, I'm right now just focused on Kansas City Chiefs. What can I do to help this team win this last quarter of football, and what I can do to help them get in the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. I really haven't had much thought about the offseason. I'm just focusing on present.
The next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Rashad, this is the first stretch that you, Legarius, and Travarius have all played together on the field. I'm just wondering what the chemistry has been like so far, and what can you take from last year that will help you guys be ready to go when you guys do play in the playoffs?
The chemistry is growing. You know what I mean? Around this time, we was playing with a lot of different pieces. You know what I mean? We had K-Full playing different positions going into the playoffs. And the chemistry was growing as well during those times. And I feel like this time, the 3 corners that we have now, you know what I mean? The chemistry is getting there. We got a bunch of smart players. Sneed, he's a very smart individual. Whether Travarius Ford, we all play off each other.
Go next. Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, what's happening, Breezy? Your defense leads the league in holding teams to under 21 points, and it seems like you guys still aren't at your best. What are your overall thoughts as the defense tries to get better going down the stretch?
Just keep taking it one game at a time, one play at a time. If we can continue to do that, keep focused on getting better as individuals, we'll get better as a defense. And I just feel like everybody holding together. D-line, linebackers, and secondary come together with a camaraderie, and they get better going forward.
Go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Bashad, you mentioned earlier on Tungavailoa's being a left-handed quarterback, and I'm curious, when you line up on defense, is there a different approach when you do go against a southpaw quarterback, or is it just the same?
Most of the quarterbacks open up to their life, so it'll be the left side of our defense. Now that he's a left-handed quarterback, he's mostly going to open up to our right side. Right side is really going to be his strong side as far as their plays and their boots.
Herbie, did you have a follow-up there? Good. Okay. All right, Breezy, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
All right, guys, we'll have McCole Hardman coming your way next. Guys, we're just waiting on the receivers to get out of their lift here, and then we'll get you We'll get you McCole, and then we'll do Patrick to close it out. right, guys, we got McCole stepping up now.
I'm here.
Hey, there he is. Are you ready for us?
Yep.
All right, we'll get started first with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Nicole, I was just wondering, from 2019 to 2020, in what ways do you feel that you've grown as a receiver?
Probably just more awareness of what's going on, coverages, the playbook itself in general, playing freely. I think my route runners got better. I think like I said, the recognizing the coverages and just knowing where I need to be, and chemistry with Pat. I think I grew in all those aspects and continue to keep growing as the season goes.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Well, we haven't talked to you since the Tampa game. Patrick took the blame for that pass where he looked wide open, but we obviously don't know the assignments. I'm wondering if you could just kind of describe what happened on that play.
Yeah, it was like a vertical route up the field. They kind of blew their coverage, and I was kind of like wide open. I think it was one of those moments. It was just like more so, dang, I can't believe he just wide open. I think it was Pat. Said, I can't believe he just wide open. But at the end of the day, I got to make that catch. Stopping faster or just whatever, man. I got to make that catch. But it just got to be on the same page and move on to the next play. So.
Let's go next to Herbie T.O.P. Go ahead, Herbie.
Nicole, we haven't talked to you. It's been a while, and I have to ask this question because you spent 2 weeks on the COVID reserve list. What led to that listing, and what did you learn about yourself, especially also the pandemic, when you spent the 2 weeks away from the team?
I guess you can get it from anywhere, multiple ways. It's a virus that we don't know how to, contain right now. And the best way to do it is just, go to work and go home. And somewhere in between that, something happened. But thank God I didn't have no symptoms or nothing like that. I was perfectly fine. And I had to just do the 10 days that I needed to do. Glad it was on a bye week, which is good. I ain't, missed no significant time to the team. And, if they needed me, I was there for the game. So, yeah, just got to be careful, man, and be aware of your surroundings and do the all necessary thing, wash your hands, sanitize everything, and just take those precautions, those steps, and I think, that'll be the best way to prevent it.
Physically, what were some of the symptoms that you may have had, and how long did it take for you to get over it?
No, I had none at all, honestly. I was perfectly fine like I am now. Didn't even know I even was at a risk of having it, until they told me. And but like I said, fortunately, I didn't have any symptoms, and I was on the bye week, so I just, was there for my team the following week.
Go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Nicole. Just looking at Miami, one of the best defenses in football. When you're looking at them on film, what stands out about them?
I think they're unique and they package this what they do. I think they blitz from various ways. They got some good guys on the back end. Some guys are good for guys up front as well. So it's going to be a good overall challenge for us, going into the game. I think we can handle it very well if we go in there and do what we got to do, be disciplined about it, and whatever they throw at us, if we can adjust to it very well on the fly, even, just seeing it while we're out there and make the plays that we need to make, I think we'll be all right.
Like we got three more. We'll go right down the line, starting with Seren. Go ahead, Seren.
Nicole, there was one play in the game. It was an out to your right as you went out, and Patrick threw the ball your way, and it didn't end up getting completed. It looked like he was gesturing. The cameras, at least on TV, had got him gesturing like, "Hey, you're supposed to come back on that." Can you just describe what that route is? Are there options? I think it's probably a lot more complex. What's going on out there as to what you see, and you and the quarterback happen to be on the same page. What happened on that route, as you recall?
It was an out route for sure. DB honestly made a great break on the ball as well. As far as me coming back, I definitely could have declined my route at the top for sure. I think the ball got me kind of fast. At the point of my break, I think the ball got me pretty fast, and but I just gotta know what Pat's looking for, and but like I said, the DB actually made a great break. I had him going. He stopped very well on a dime actually, and but yeah, definitely I just come there at the point of my break, and so I can give Pat a better target to throw, especially if he trying to throw it on my body, trying to keep me in bounds or something like that. So but yeah, I just got to come back negative on that route.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, McCall, we don't get a chance to talk much kind of old college stuff because we don't get you guys as often. You're not going to play against Tua here because you're on offense and he's on offense. But can you take us back to that national title game when you guys were playing? And did you even consider he was someone who was going to come in the game? And what was it like to see kind of the performance he did? And can you imagine yourself a few years later, you guys are playing against each other in the league?
Yeah, Tua, a great quarterback, man. He did his thing at Alabama. He's doing his thing at the Dolphins as well. I think he's gonna have a great career. But yeah, when we went back to Georgia, man, Jalen Hurts got hurt. Here comes Tua, the backup QB, and start having a good game. Me, honestly, I'm talking college, but I don't think he did nothing special. I think we just messed up a lot. I think he came in and he just made the right throw. I mean, freaking third and 23, second and 23, or something like that. And blown with coverage on the back end, man. The game should have been over, man. But I think he did what he was supposed to do. But then I think that following year when he came in, actually to solidify a starting quarterback, I think he made a name for himself to show that he was really the best QB in college football at that time.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
McCall, we mentioned earlier about you being on the COVID list. I think Andy told us that you were sort of the emergency option in the game against Las Vegas. Byron Pringle gets hurt. You kind of come in late and have that one reception in the game-winning drive. I just wanted to get what your perspective was in that sort of scenario, coming off the COVID list, not really thinking you may play, and then being sort of put in the most critical portion of the game to replace Byron.
Yeah, I mean, I know not practicing all week was going to be hard, especially conditioning-wise. But like I think Coach said, the emergency, I was just there for, really support the guys and do their thing. And if they needed a blow or, if they needed me to come in and take a rep or two, I was definitely going to be there for them, but when Pringle got hurt, I knew I was well enough more than to step in and do what I needed to do and call a pass, on the 2-minute drive. So, and there's just some things that, you got to be willing to do and be prepared to do. So I was just ready whenever my number was called.
McCall, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, Patrick, coming your way next. Hey, you ready for us?
Ready to go.
All right, we'll start first with Ruth Biggis. Go ahead, Ruth.
Hey, Patrick. Congratulations on the honor with Sports Illustrated, Sports Person of the Year. That is really cool. How do you feel about that? And you've been noted not only for your prowess on the field, but everything you're doing off the field.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a tremendous honor to be a part of that group of people that have made such an impact in this world. And for me, I mean, I'm obviously super excited and super thankful for them to name me that. But I mean, the fight is not done. I mean, we have to continue to make an impact in this world every single day. And I'm going to continue to do that along with the people in this locker room. I think we have a great group of guys that want to impact this community in this world in the best way possible.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick. Hey, Brad, when I'm done, I'll have a follow-up. Patrick, your touchdown the other night came on a free play where Denver jumped off sides. And you've shown a pretty good knack for that since you've been the quarterback here. How did you pick that up? That's kind of a thing you normally associate more with veteran quarterbacks. How did you pick that up? You've been doing that for a while. Were you pretty good at it in college?
Yeah, I mean, we did it in high school, and then we did it again in college. And I think coaches have just given me the rein to use your snap count and try to gain an advantage in any way. And I mean, I've tried to do that as I've gotten into my career so far. And I think it's not only me, but the whole offense has to be on the same page of running their routes at the right depths, doing the right stuff, and staying on sides when we're using those hard counts. And so I think the offense does a great job of that, and I just try to find the open guy and let them make plays.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers has been particularly good at that, as you know, over the years. You ever watch him? Do you pick up anything from him over the years on that particular part of the game?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think he does a tremendous job of he can change plays. He can use the hard count. He can do whatever it is pre-snap. And I mean, obviously, he's super talented. He can make a lot of plays happen. But he's particularly good at using it stuff like that with 12 men on the field or the hard count to get free plays.
Go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Patrick, there was a route you had with McCole Hardman where it was an out route to your right-hand side, right? And you threw it, and I think the DB knocked it away, and it looked like you were saying, hey, come back. I know it's a lot more complicated, right, than the old 8th grade out route at 10 yards, right? You guys got options and everything. How much freedom is there for the receivers, and how vital is it for you and the receivers? You always talk about being on the same page. Is every route got options that every receiver's got? Is it just some of the time? How's that work?
I mean, it kind of just goes with the coverages that are going against what the defense is doing. And so you saw that one where I wanted him to come back, and he thought he had got enough room by his release to get straight to the sideline. So we had a little miscommunication there. But there was times in the games where with Kelsey, he ran a route where he went out because he felt like he had the room, and I threw it behind him. And it's just stuff like that. But, I mean, most times we're doing it right and no one says anything. But when we do miss, obviously we want to be better and not have any of those during the game.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Patrick, you mentioned Aaron Rodgers earlier. You do watch him, and I know the quarterback group in the NFL is kind of like a tight fraternity. When you look over at Miami and their young rookie in Tua Tagovailoa, what are some of the things that impress you about him?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it from his college career and then now in his pro career. He knows how to manage the game and manage the situation. I mean, he does a good job of knowing that his defensive special teams is working and can do what he can on the offense to put up enough points to win football games. He's done that his whole career. And that's truly a remarkable thing. I mean, that's something that I wasn't that good at my first year here. And, I mean, obviously he has the talent. He can make all the throws. He can roll to his right, to his left, and throw off balance. And he can run and make stuff happen too. So, but that veteran kind of mental mindset that he has, I think it's truly special at this time in his career.
Go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Patrick, twofold, one on, one off the field. The first one off. Obviously, Brittany has bought into a professional team with the women's soccer organization. Just what is it for you and her to both buy into Kansas City, buy into professional teams? And then is there anything else you guys want to contribute to the city of Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, we want to continue to do more and more to build this community. I mean, it's done so much for us. We want to continue to invest in it. Yeah, she's done a great job. It happened fast. I mean, she's been talking with the other owners in that team about bringing a team for the last couple months here, and they got to make it happen quicker than I think they even expected. So obviously, super excited for them. Super congratulatory to all of them, and she's done a great job of doing what she can to make those girls feel loved and know that they're coming to Kansas City and they're going to get supported like every other sports team does here.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, wanted to ask you about Tua as well. When did you first speak with him? Did you give him any advice per se before going into the draft and just what he may sort of experience similar to what you did? And do you see similarities between what you had with Alex, maybe what Tua has with Ryan, and what's going on there in Miami? Even though obviously Tua has entered his rookie season earlier than you did.
Yeah, I actually talked to Tua a couple times. He's actually in the same agency as me, so we're able to talk through that. I mean, he's super talented. He understands what it takes to win football games, and I think that comes from playing at Alabama and winning those national championships there. He understands exactly what needs to be done to win football games. So for me, as far as between Alex and me and Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think they have a great dynamic there where they like me and Alex, two great football players that just want to go out there and win in whatever way possible and help out the team. And so I mean, obviously it's worked, and they've won a lot of football games, and it'll be a great challenge for us this week to beat a really good football team.
We've got 3 left. Let's go Darren, Pete, and then Sam to close it out. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Patrick, 2 questions for you. One, does it kind of validate you being Sportsman of the Year with the others? with your social activism, your support of Black Lives Matter, trying to get votes out. What is next for you as it relates to that? What's your next move on the activism side? And then secondly, your hair commercial that you did. Now, you and I, we both got the same barber. Why didn't you have the Juan Bonds cut, in that commercial with you?
Yeah, well, the first part, I mean, the validate question, to me, it's not about the validation. It's about doing whatever it takes to make this world a better place. And obviously, it's really cool to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated and be recognized for something like that. But like what I said earlier, we're not done. And I think the next thing is really supporting during these troubling times Black-owned businesses in the Kansas City community and making sure those businesses can stay afloat and continue to build generational wealth and things like that. And so that'll be our next step. And then as far as the barber, with all the COVID stuff going on, DeJuan couldn't make it to where we were shooting the commercial at. And so I actually got my hair cut by him for the commercial, but he wasn't the guy cutting it in the commercial.
Last two will go Pete Sweeney and Sam. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Patrick, I know that recently red zone success has been a point of conversation. As you guys have self-scouted the past week or two, how do you feel like you can improve in that as we get to the final fourth of the season?
Yeah, I think first execution. Whenever we do have the right play, we got to find the right guy and hit him and get in the end zone. And then, I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to be tougher and find ways to run the ball in there. I mean, we've had opportunities where we have chances to get in the end zone, as far as me throwing it with guys open in the end zone or running the ball and trying to punch it in there. But kind of like what EB says, I mean, you got to be able to run the ball when they know you're going to run the ball.
Go to Sam McDowell for the last one. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, just two real short ones. I'm wondering if you had a chance to connect with Alex Smith after what he was able to do on Monday. And then also Miami, do you think you'll have any memories as you step on the field on Sunday?
I haven't talked to Alex since he won the game against the Steelers. Big win for him, obviously. I mean, it's just truly tremendous to see him. It seems like every single time he gets back out there, and you watch him play, he feels more and more comfortable, and he looks more and more like the Alex of old. And that Alex can win a lot of football games. So, I mean, they're doing a tremendous job battling for their NFC East crown with the Giants and a couple other teams over there. And so I'm obviously super proud of him being able to battle through that and be at the top of his game again. And then what was your second question one more time?
Just do you think being on the field in Miami is going to prompt any memories of the February game?
Yeah, I'm sure it will. But at the same time, we're going down there to play a really good football team. So, I mean, as quickly as you get those memories, you kind of have to let those things go because it's going to take everything we have to beat a really good Miami Dolphins football team.
Patrick, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Let me hit our button here, and you guys can fire questions at me if you've got any.